How are you? Hi, Susan.
Good morning, Fumi. Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing good. I'm doing great this morning. It's good to be here. Good morning, Mami Binabo. Good morning, HerLens family. Yeah, it's Thursday, so one day to Friday already. Yes, yes.
You are my twin, Susan. You are my twin. Elma, you've been about you're muted.
Network this is okay, Sha. We dey here. We no agree. Good morning, beautiful ladies of our lens. Good morning to all our valued listeners, all the beautiful ladies and the very handsome gentlemen out there. We greet you. Good morning. It's great to be here. Lady Susan, I see you grinning and glowing.
Yes, good. It's not easy.
Olufumi J, I see you. Mm. Bobby.
That's me. Let's get into it this morning. Yesterday we started a conversation on safety when it comes to the I was gonna say the domestic help they get, but then I had to stop because an 11 years is not a domestic help. Let me just quickly put that there. A 9 year old is not a domestic help. Let me quickly put that out there. And I don't understand, this thing where women take 8 year olds, 9 year olds, sometimes 7 year olds on as help. Like there's something that Susan said yesterday. A child is raising a child. Is it not something that you decided to take this person on, adopt the person and let them be it's called your child? That what's the English? I don't understand it. Even 18 years, 25 years that you take on as your domestic help, the question is, how do you take care of them? Is it the one that everybody in the house is living in proper rooms, sleeping in proper rooms, and then you give them a mat to sleep on? Because people are scared. I remember the first domestic assistant I got years ago. I noticed that she was a bit, say, uncomfortable. Like she used to look at me with suspicion, like when is the shoe going to drop? Because as when I found out the person that she was with before she came out used to maltreat her, and whenever it's time for them to go out, she will let her out of the house from morning till night when she comes back. And we see this now. Imagine this also being done to an 8 year old, to a 7 year old, and then when they break a plate, for instance, or break a glass cup, for instance, or they can't find a spoon. The Here's the thing: I don't care what that child does. That child is the child, because if your child broke a plate or a spoon or a glass cup, you will not beat them. You I think they were the ones that maybe caused your business to come to ruin. That's the best way I can put it. And the pictures of that little boy, they are so gory, they are so bad in this woman to be able to cause such. I'm on air. I'm trying to be demure, even though like this story is not allowing me to be demure. But yesterday we started saying that it happens with a certain tribe. I'm going to let Susan be the one to talk about it because that's where she's from. Not to be saying you are talking about my tribe. Okay, talking about your tribe. Do to do which I talk about it. But yeah, I'm just gonna try and be calm. Susan, over to you.
Fumi, we started this conversation yesterday, and me, I don't do you are from my tribe, you are not from my tribe. For me, it is humanity before tribe. You understand? I preach humanity. That is what I represent. And so it has, often come up as people from the East always need help because they're either doing business, going to work, and what have you. And so they want extra help. But like I said yesterday, this is me reiterating the fact that you don't bring a child to raise a child. That little boy is also a child that needs to be raised. You promised the parents you were going to take care of him because he's from a poor background. You are sending him to school and what have you. And then you brought, and this is Anambra State that has a Child Rights Act since 2004. 2004. And so you bring the child. I don't know the level of what that child might have done because the sight of that baby boy's skin is gory. It's not something, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's not something anybody can pray. When I watch a video of the woman, pleading for forgiveness for me, I felt like stretching my hands through my phone and hitting her mouth.
To the
Wo, Mati fún nígbà tíjù, èmi tí mo tó ṣọ̀ fún mi, Mati lọ fọ létí jù. Like, how are you asking for forgiveness? The scars are there. Before that boy will heal completely. And if it is going to take time. For me, while they were trying to rescue this boy, they bought him a drink, boost and all of that. And even with that pain, for me, he was busy eating. Ebiti pomo yen se. Ah, Kabiesi. Ebiti pomo yen gidi gidi gidi. Like yesterday, I kept looking because all along, I always say it on HerLens. Once I see any video that would tamper with my sleep or my mind, I skip. It doesn't matter how it's trending. I will only read the story, I won't look at it. But because he was a child and I wanted to actually give a holistic approach, and this is us on HerLens, also speaking out to people who need help, who pick up help, whether whatever. Please, children are not your properties. They are not your properties to manhandle. If your child breaks a cup and you won't give your child injury, why are you giving that little child? Besides, I would like for them not to be bringing in children, although I have also seen children who have also been taken care of, from the people who picked them. But honestly, if I was a person, if a child is not yet 13 and above, please don't pick that child. Because again, we see people maltreat. Fumi talked of sleeping on the floor. We have seen people give leftover children. Fumi, when I was in Lagos, we went to my auntie's house somewhere in Abulegba. And the house help, whenever the woman is going out, she locks that house help in the house. And so in my head, I was traumatized because I was wondering, what if there's a fire outbreak? What if there's anything? Every day, except it's a place she wants to go with that child, she would always lock that boy inside the house. And this is the fate. Chiziteremi is just, one out of the many things happening. I know it is dominant in the Southeast. I am a full-fledged Igbo woman. And this is me calling out my people and calling out every other person who does this kind of thing. It is despicable to say the least. You cannot pick somebody, whether a child or a teenager, bring them, promise their parents better life, and you give them that level of injury. Do you know the time it will take for that boy to heal? Do you know the trauma? His mom was hugging him and crying. And even with his pain, his fingers, Fumi, all had injury, both hands. And he was cleaning his mom's tears. I was crying yesterday watching that video because they were speaking in Igbo and all of that. His mom was holding him, crying, and saying, if not that I gave you my child, the woman was not there. She's in security operatives, and she kept crying and saying, if not that I gave you my child, this. And the boy in the hospital was wiping his mom's tears. Please, we can do better. If you do not want to treat people as you would treat your own children, don't pick them. Do not pick them. I have a caregiver who comes in, to do things for me. And even though I had a stipulated amount I paid her, the moment she put to bed, I decided, you can't be coming regularly. You can't be carrying your child and staying outside to wash my clothes. I had to engage another person strictly to wash my clothes. And if it is clothes that needs ironing, I send them to the dry cleaner. For me, it is just humanity. I'm not living with anybody. Nobody is advising me. I mean, and it's not as if my own salary has changed for me to even incur extra expenses. But this is just me thinking of the next person. Please, no matter your tribe, do not pick a house. I mean, these are your support systems. Why are you maltreating them? What if they meet this wickedness on your children? And that's why you see some people put CCTV camera now. The other day, I saw a nanny matching food before packing it into the plate for me. Yes, matching food. If not for the CCTV camera, the person would not even know. We can do better as human beings. That is why I speak to humanity. It's not about tribe. You can be Igbo and be wicked. You can be Yoruba and be wicked. You can be Hausa and be a wicked person. Please, we can do better. When you pick people's children, remember you have children, because some of you don't know that there are policies that protect these children. And I am grateful to Anambra State government, you know, Ministry of Women Affairs and what have you, and even the First Lady and the government. But be that as it may, we would like to know, as this issue progresses, we want to know how it's going. It will help us to also, speak about it, amplify it, so that people who are not watching us today will also hear and listen, because we condemn in all its ramifications any kind of child abuse, teenage abuse, or what have you. Please. Thank you. Let me stop here.
As well. The many things that you said in in your submission, Susan. I wanted to pick from the one of nannies. See, before I even get there, people are inherently wicked. Let's just put it that way. Everybody has evil inside of them, but every day we wake up, every day we put in the work to make sure that we are not towing the line of wickedness or being mean. If it's to be wicked, nobody has monopoly to be wicked, right? But we all choose. Every day you have choices in front of you to choose either good or bad. And I want to beckon on you as you're listening to us this morning, do not choose bad. Choose good all the time. Not because somebody is going to don't choose good because you are expecting that somebody will come and do good for you again. Just choose good because it is good to be good. This is still Women Radio 4.7 FM, and the phone lines are now open 07000 or 9155 Those are the numbers to call. You can text or WhatsApp us on 0703 or 08155 I mean, I was going to say some things, but I'm just like, Susan took the wind off me with her submission. I'm just like, I beg, please, everybody, DOD. Ibn Abo, to you, what are your thoughts on this? How I think I'm still stuck on how people take on 8-year-olds into the house. Some people argue and say, oh, maybe the person is elderly and the elderly person just needed a young person to stay with them at home. Surely it cannot be an 8-year-old. My daughter is 8. So you categorically that I can leave my child at home with my own mom, who's her grandmom, and she'll take care of my her grandmom. Cannot happen. Even yesterday, we went to church and both of them were with me, my two children were with me, and I would typically go upstairs for prayer. And I told my HOD, I said, I cannot come home because my daughter cannot take care of her brother. Unfortunately, it's not something to be proud of, but she can help him. But my son is also really, really strong-willed. So somebody will beat somebody. I'm not going to say who you. And saying oh, an 8-year-old is who should go and stay with a grandma. That should be in school. Something, not making boiling for something. Even about that to you.
Ah, ọ̀rọ̀ pèsè jẹ́ o. Stories like this, like Susan said, sometimes I don't understand what goes on in the minds of so many people, how they will find it very comfortable, making life very, very unbearable for children. What am I saying? I remember when I had my first child, and somebody said she was going to bring a help for me. My mom was around though, so but I needed somebody as well, to assist my mom and all of that. So when they brought this person, this girl was she was less than 18 years. And she's not the tall type. I had to ask her, how old are you? She said she was 17 years old. When kinikon, 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 kinikon. I said, okay, you're not 18. She said, no, me. Ma, I can do it. I can do. She started telling me all what she could do. Okay. So immediately I got to know that was how old she was. I knew she wasn't going to stay with me for long. Then secondly, I realized I knew. In fact, I didn't have to. I didn't nobody to tell me. I handled her like my younger sister. So and she too was such an amiable girl. You understand? So on a particular day, she now told me, after I don't know what prompted her, she said, auntie, you are kind. I said, okay. She said, that where she was before they brought her to my house. She said there was a grandma there, that she was taking care of 3 children. That the grandma was there, and they had the children, the toddlers in the house were 3. That she would do this, she would change diapers, she would do that. I said, how long? When did you start working like this? She said, when she was 11. So you are a pro now. She said, ma, I can't do a lot of. That was why she said that was why she told me that she could take care of my baby, because she had been taking care of babies when she was 11 years old and all of that. So what baffled me was when she told me that where she worked last before they brought her to my house, that the grandma would just, if you made a mistake, the grandma would just call you. You will not run after you. You will come to her. You will kneel down in front of her, and she will use ruler to hit your head. Ko, 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 ko. She will not beat you in any part of your body. It's on your head. And she said, I heard you. And if you dare move, she will report you to her daughter. So it was she said that she never knew that somebody could treat her like this. That she was used to being maltreated, and she felt that was how life supposed to be and all of that. So very unfortunate, very sad. I felt very bad. I felt sad for her. And when she was going to leave, in fact, she was crying, but I said, you have to, that I can't have, I will soon go back to work. I can't have an underage work with me like that. I had to allow you for about 2-3 months because I wanted to just help you, that you cannot stay with me. This girl begged. She cried. She did everything. Said no. But eventually, I was about changing my mind before the person that brought her came to me and said, that in their village, they normally have this festival that all the children from that village must come back home. That was how she left. But what am I saying? This girl, what she told me about her, about what she had experienced in different families, it was like they were taking her from one bad home to another. So coming to me was like, why are you different? You know, that kind of a thing. So this girl will bend and break. I'll tell her, go and sit down. You can't do this. She say, I can't do it. She'll be struggling. See, watch me. And I said, because I don't know, why are you treating me like, I said, I can't treat, how do I treat you? You are a little girl. Because she was not even looking that 17. I didn't even believe she was 17 anyway. I believe she was lying. Because to me, she looked like a 13-year-old girl. And there was no way that could be a help in the house. So when they came to pick her, I said, good enough, because I told the guy that, see, she's too young, she's too little. My mom may be busy sometimes. I have to go back to work. I cannot allow a girl like a child to take care of another child. So you see, it's not everybody that will have that mind. I'm not saying I'm an angel. Myself, I get some small sometimes. But the truth of the matter is, you see, power imbalances is always a problem. Some people, they feel that when you bring a child to them, they see themselves as other, they see themselves as the savior. They don't see this, they view this child as a source of labor rather than seeing this child as a child who needs care, who needs support, who should be assisted. And then when they are upset, they take it out on this child. When they are frustrated, they will dump everything on this child. When Oga messes up, the person that will be punished for it is this particular house help. It is unfair. And also parents. Parents will take their children to a place and you not visit once in a while. I'm not saying go and be checking that baby every day and that child every day like that. But go there once in a while. Any family that will tell you, and you cannot be coming here every time because your child is here. It depends on the frequency. But at least, even if it is once a month or once in 2 months, I wouldn't, if a person, if I have a child with me that I want to help, I want to take care of, because maybe for whatever reason, once in a, if in fact as a parent, if you don't come, I will call you and caution you. The one we do just is like you have abandoned this child with me. Because I experienced it at some point. I took in a girl. She was barely 7, and my youngest was about 10, and they became like friends. And if the mother was late, the father, young man, young boy, buzzing up and down, but he wasn't coming for about a month. I didn't hear from him. He didn't call. He didn't do anything. I had to call him. What is wrong with you? Your child is with me. Did you abandon her with me? Did I tell you I'm looking for a child? I just wanted to help. So I have to caution him that you must come and visit your child at least once a month. You cannot just abandon her as if, okay, oh, somebody's taking care of her. Whether they feed her, whether they care for her, whatever it is, you are free already. So I have to caution him. So there are parents like that. You put your child with a family, you let the child with a family with the hope that the family would do what you are not able to do for that child. It does not mean you shouldn't visit once in a while. And if they say you shouldn't visit once in a while, then you should know that your child shouldn't be with that family. And I
Mm.
want out there people who always feel that because a child is at their mercy, they will treat that child anyhow. See, the, one thing is that people often forget that life is not set in stone. Times change, circumstances shift. You can turn on a dime. The only constant in life is change. So if you feel that because this child is helpless, this child is at your mercy, if I drive the child, this child life is ended, is a lie. Because when you want to maltreat a child, somebody else wants to care for that child. So I want to admonish everyone who is taking care of somebody else's child that be good and be kind, because what goes around comes around. Today's helper may be tomorrow's beneficiary, and today's position is not guaranteed forever. As the saying goes, I always tell people, I say, every dog has his day. Treat others with respect and compassion, for tomorrow may bring your own meal to the table from unexpected hands. I attended a burial, my dear sisters, a burial last week. During that burial, I was now told that the major financier of that burial was a young boy who used to live with this family as a help in the house. They trained him and everything, and by whatever reason, he's financially better than all the children the man has. So when the man died, the burial ceremony, the largest chunk of the expenses was taken care of by this boy that lived with them so many years ago. So can
Mm.
you hear me? Am I still audible?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to be sure because the network is somehow. So
No, I
this
can hear you. I can hear you.
man took care of the largest chunk of the expenses. When I got to know how, I even thought he was one of the man's children. They said no, that he only lived with them. They took care of him when he was little. That the mother used to come and cook for them. So that was how they took him in and started and put him through school and everything. But look at him today, he's a big man. So you see, the good you do today is there. Sometimes the person you have done good to may not be the person who will repay you, but it is there. Nature has seen that you have planted good. It will return to you in good measures. Stop taking advantage of the vulnerability of people because they are helpless. So you feel you are God in their lives. So you treat them anyhow. You beat a child, the child body is full of injury. You batter a little child. We should take it easy because life, in this life, tomorrow is not given. Now God bless now we enjoy. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ibinaba, for your contribution. I mean, um, I think I'm going to reiterate what I said at the beginning. Like you have two choices in front of you. You can decide to be good. You can decide to be bad. Please don't choose the bad. You know that cartoon that we used to see when we were younger, that you have one angel on one shoulder and another angel on the other shoulder, and both of them are fighting. Oh, do it! Oh, don't do it! Please don't take the negative one. Right? Do the good one. Right? Don't let the evil. Don't let evil win. Susan, I'm coming back to you. Yesterday, you mentioned that you had, like your sister had stayed with a family member. We have a call. This is my darling Mrs. Aboli. How is Mrs. Aboli?
My honey, good morning. Good morning.
My queen.
They blush every time.
Susan is the one I used to collect rates from me.
Happy.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Yes. Lady Susan, Lady Binabo, good morning to you. Lady Fumi, well done. You guys are doing amazing.
Thank you, my queen.
Thank you, my love. Before you go back to Susan, I would want to just chime in on this discussion. See, I know Susan said we don't stereotype. Honestly, I agree with what she said. But the reason why some tribes are being, called out simply because statistics have revealed that most of this child manhandling, I also call it slavery now, is widely.
Oh, slavery act, yes.
Exactly, training is widely and grossly enabled amongst this set of people. But I like to also assess this from an individualistic point of view. Now, irrespective of tribe or gender, if you are bad, you are just bad. You understand? That's some point here. If people are persecuted more for this manhandling of children and child labor, if we continually condemn it the way we do on the show most times, and if it's being closely monitored, honestly, those around us, if we see something, say something, everyone will be like, consign me. But no, it consign you. Because that child you are turning a blind eye on while this evil is happening or pervading your society, your vicinity, can also be your child. Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. But most times we shut our eyes around us, when we witness these anomalies, and then we also more or less aid and abet these things indirectly. Now, some people intentionally request for children of a certain lower age in order for them to oppress them. It is a given fact. They will tell you, Jubia be 6 or 7, at most 8 long, because about will be 10 years, but you forget the fact that age or no age, if a child is given to you in trust, if a child is given to you in care, you should be able to treat that child the way you would treat yours. Look at the beautiful story Ibn Abbas said or cited this morning. You understand? The child will not want to go. See, if you further check that thing, because I know of one, my neighbor said that they said that they want to go and do one festival. See me, they don't do any festival. They wanted to hand over that child to another family again.
Hi.
Because when they bring these children, they collect money for transportation, they collect money for form, they collect money for this, and so they lie to you because to them your tenancy has expired. I mean, your think the transaction with them has expired. They want to move on to the next person. If you check it properly, I tell you, that did not go for any rights or whatsoever. They want to transfer that child to another person. Now, let me cite something that happened in my children's school. During this last career day they did, a child like the help in their house, I think about 8 or 9, the child of the house has seen how the mother has been unleashing venom on this their help. So over the years, during the career day, this child was, when you see, but the way it comes back to us, that's one thing we should know. The help in their house is a very wise child, speaks fluent English because they brought the child to school and everything. They were brilliant. But what am I trying to say here? In the child, when their own child was rendering her own this thing, they have not do anything. No. When it got to the turn of the child in the house, the help, as she was rendering her own, the child stood up and went to grab the microphone from the child's mouth.
And so the child of the like
oh God. You needed to see the way our eyes, say that in English language. We were so angry that even the proprietor stood up to go and stylishly collect the microphone. After the career, they come and see how they were berating this woman. But that simply shows that what you've been doing to that child at home, your own child has come to manifest it outside. These are the ripple effects we are talking about. So growing up, what do you think the kind of mindset that child would have? And it will definitely whip you in the ass. It will come back to bite you. I don't say if you did there for me, you go load and slap. But that is it.
Queen,
So this is what I'm trying to say. These are the things that plays out before your very eyes, not only in society, but right under the covers of your nose. When you see something, say something. One day I will share my own story too. Babe, you go cry, but it is well. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, oh Jesus, I don't even know where to start from. And this thing that Mrs. Obeli said, I remember when I was in primary school, maybe it was primary school. I remember that there was a time that these rich kids in my primary school will come and they'll come with a car and then they'll say it was a thing. I'm not even sure how these children were able to figure it out at that early. They'll tell the driver to go back. That's not the car I want, to bring the car. And because of this thing that Mrs. Oboli said, the way you treat the people around you, best believe that you can hide it for so long, but your children will be the one to tell on you. And because you're telling somebody, their actions is what will tell on you. And I noticed that the kids in the house call the domestic help at home by name. Mrs. Oboli, I say as who are where I am. Like this is like you don't do that. Miss it is called the person Miss Toby or Auntie Toby. Choose whichever one. But what we're not going to do is call this person by name. First of all, this person is older than you by years. I'm not even on this. It's important that you inculcate respect. Domestic help, driver, clerical, wants the house to cook. So that what that should be. I'm just highly God, I beg. So you should have thought about your sister being raised by another family and how the person is still in close contact with your family. I wanted to ask what the effect that it was on your sister. And I said it's because of what Mrs. Oboli said, how they take the children and take them somewhere else. I think you saw the story of, is her name Precious, on social media, that had no you social media to get to her house, and then the family members came to take the child in. The child was taken, and then this person that was this social media person, the content creator, influencer, died. And then because this is why you need to be careful who you're doing to this kind of things. So I wanted you to shed some light since you have a personal experience with it.
Okay, so for me, thank you, Mrs. Oboli, for calling. What she said and what you just said just corroborated, because even my parents, the lady is older than I am. Even my parents call her auntie something. So all of us in the house, even up till today, when she visits, when my grandmother, she came, whenever we're doing something in the family, she comes around Christmas. When she hears we have come, she comes to visit us. She's Igbo like us, but she was older. It's just that she didn't get education. So when we come back from school, she goes for her evening school, commercial evening school there in Lagos. And that was it. When she's an only daughter, she has brothers. So when her mom was aging, they told her that they would not move to the village. She, as the only daughter, since she was not married, needs to go. That was why she left our house. So she had to move back to the village. And trust me, for me, till tomorrow. Sometimes she even calls me on phone to greet me. She just calls us, to say hello. And when we travel, because she's now in the East, you see, and when we traveled, Fumi, the icing on the cake was during Abiola, when we ran from Lagos in 1993 back to the village, during that period, my parents were in Lagos, but we traveled with this auntie of ours, all of us. All my mom's children at the time were 4, because my youngest brother had not been born. And so we traveled. She stayed with us. Like, people in our village knew her. My sister was still sucking. She was the one who stopped her from breastfeeding, because my mom was in Lagos and she was with us in our village. She lived with us in our village until the whole drama and everything went down. She wasn't perfect. We were not perfect children. And I'm not trying to paint a perfect, but there
I
was
get
this
you.
respect, there was boundary, there was boundary, there was respect. We did everything. My parents promised her and told her it will be evening school, because you would not, so that when these children go, you do the things you need to do, rest, and now prepare, so that when they come back, you just go for your school. And when my parents come back from work, it's easier. It's not as if at one point or the other, people have not, used help in their lives. But for me, Susan, have also stayed with someone, a family member, who would drink tea with milk on the same table, and I'm taking Lipton. And yes, I had a disability at the time. I was just a primary school person, and the chores was left for me to do. Yes, I sweep, I mop. That is why, even
Oh,
yes, even when I engage someone, when you are not doing what is how I need my space to be, I also know to. So for me, I agree that, and that was why from inception, I said humanity over tribe. And this is family. For me, this treatment was from family. Imagine yourself sitting on the same dining and people are drinking tea with milk and you are taking Lipton. We are still family till tomorrow. But that stuck in my head. And I promised myself never to maltreat anyone who comes my way. Because, I mean, you never can tell. Today, they need your help. Tomorrow, you might be the one who needs their
yeah,
help.
yeah, yeah.
So Why would you look down on anybody anywhere in the world? Why? I have seen someone, the person who took her abroad was the person she used as help for me. The young guy traveled out. Someone she took in as her house help, a boy, made it, traveled out, and moved her abroad. Yes, for
God.
me. Yes, he moved her abroad, you know. So, I mean, life and all of these things happen in my presence, not be hearsay. I witnessed with my own eyes. So I have also grown to know that it is humanity over anything. You know, I have also received the support I have given to certain people at some point in my life. So no matter who you bring in at whatever level, including your gate man, your driver, whoever, it doesn't end with only a house help. Let me allow Mam Ibinabo say her 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan. As we even about in a minute or two before we go, your points. Thank you.
Okay. Just to add to what everybody's saying, Mr. Boli, Lady Susan, everybody, I just want to admonish some people out there. You see, because I know a family where they believe that everyone must know their place. This is a family that I know this family very, very well, and they are not from Anambra State. They are from Rivers, my Rivers State. And they will tell you everyone must know their place, and especially between family members and domestic staff. And then when there was a time my mom cautioned, because she's my mom's cousin, and she was working with one of those oil companies then in Port Harcourt, feeling all big and everything. If she's listening, I'm not trying to be rude, though. I'm just trying to tell the story. What I saw. You understand? So, you deny these children basic humanity. That's what my mom told her. You would deny them basic humanity and dignity of people working in the home. And then you don't allow them to treat people according to their character. It has to be based on their financial status, which is very bad. But then they used to argue this thing, we were little. My mom would just tell her, well, what you are teaching these children, because she would say, no. There has to be boundaries. There has to be discipline. They must know that they are here to work. They must that by the time she allows her child to talk a certain way to the driver, maybe to be nice and everything, that's when the driver will have the mouth to start wanting to toast her daughter. Did you not raise your child well enough for the girl not to know,
There's no anything. If don't place your picking and your picking won't agree, you go agree. Nothing.
I don't know how to speak in the English again. Sir. You see, the problem is that the harshness even becomes more apparent, when domestic staff live with the family, care for the children, cook their meals, and contribute significantly to the household. I know a family whereby the cook never ate in the living room, even when they were not at home. She would always eat a meal in the kitchen, even when they were not at home. And me, I was a little Abebelube child. So I say this, I never lived with any family member. You know why? Because of these little things I saw. I can't. I'll go and live somewhere. You not be treating me anyhow. When my father, my papa was treating me as if I was the only child in his life. Meanwhile, I was not. I wasn't the first. I wasn't the second. I wasn't the last. But I was a queen. All my sisters, they all had their AKA nickname.
All
You know?
right.
So you see, people treat people because they feel that yes, you are at my mercy, you need my support. So you are a laborer, and a laborer must know his or her class or level or place. That is the mindset. But don't forget, that laborer, if that laborer gets sense, that laborer, you know what somebody said one day? She said, an elderly woman, she said, when a parent is cautioning a child or his child, that orphan will be listening and be learning. That's why sometimes you see some orphans, they turn out very well. Because yes, there was somebody to train them, but they were wise enough to take a cue from all the cautions, all the whatever punishment given to children who are with their parents. So please, everything you do today, it's on it over dollar, like Mr. Boli said. And people will remember. People will always remember, and they will tell you your story. When they tell you who
All
you
right.
are, will you be happy and proud of yourself?
We gotta
Thank you.
go. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, ladies, for coming on the program today. Finally, please make sure you treat people well. Treat them well. Thank you so much, ladies. See you tomorrow on another edition of the HerLens. Thank you so much for this amazing, amazing conversation. Up next is Radio Doctor. Bye for now.
Good day. Honey and Banana Connect. At the market, my neighbor's sister-in-law said that women who use contraceptives, their husbands will stop loving them. Honey and Banana Connect. It's me again. My auntie said if I space my children, people will think something is wrong in my marriage. Is it true? Honey and Banana Connect. Hello? 7790.